to another episode of the Sunday Sauce. I got to interview a director. Her name is Sheona McDonald. She made a crypto documentary called Dead Man's Switch. It's going to be out on Discovery Plus on December 23rd. Check out this interview. It's very interesting. Welcome to a new episode of the Sunday Sauce. I'm here with Sheona McDonald. She is doing a documentary about a crazy story about a man named Gerald Cotten who supposedly died when he started a cryptocurrency company, and apparently died with $215 million of people's cryptocurrencies. It's a pretty crazy documentary. I watched it. She opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. I went deep down a rabbit hole. And this is actually not the first story. There's a couple of these other stories that people went missing with cryptocurrencies. So, Sheona, thanks for joining us. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I'm Sheona McDonald. I'm a Canadian filmmaker, creator of things. Mm-hmm. And just finished this film during COVID. Gerald Cotten's crazy story. It's called Dead Man's Switch, a crypto mystery.
Dead Man's Switch. So, this currency he made, Quadriga CX, right? That's a Canadian thing, right? That's not an American thing. So people in America, they probably really never heard of it. They don't probably know what it is unless you're in the crypto world, right?
Yeah, and even, you know what, even though it was Canada's biggest cryptocurrency exchange when Gerald allegedly died, it was small in the world. It wasn't even in the top 100 exchanges in the world. So it really was, even though $215 million in fiat and crypto went missing, it wasn't huge on the radar. I mean, there's been other ones, as you said, Mt. Gox, and a lot since. Not uncommon to have these cryptocurrency exchanges go belly up.
Right. So what made you make this documentary?
Well, I had some funding to do a project about cryptocurrency. It was like, find a good crypto story. And I was challenged by that. I mean, because as you said at the beginning, like, this is not a straightforward thing. It's a little bit dry and boring.
It's very weird.
And it's weird. And a few years ago, it wasn't as common as it is now.
I took some notes from the film, from your documentary. I mean, they waited his fiance, she waited 9 days to say that he died. Like that, am I correct on that?
Yeah,
that's a little strange, right?
Well, yes, she didn't tell creditors that he died.
And they were taking deposits for a couple more days later, like after his death, which is even more. It's very strange. I can't believe it.
Yeah, there's lots of strange things. And I mean, there's even more strange things than are in the film. But obviously, from a legal perspective, everything that we put in there had to be verified up, down, and sideways. So There are other strange things along the way where you're like, really? But I mean, even that company was operating without bank accounts. Like, the company didn't have bank accounts, despite bringing in millions and millions and millions of dollars. So cryptocurrency is appealing to some people because it's unregulated, and the lack of regulation causes these problems.
Especially in today's times. I mean, I know right now in America, the inflation is a big issue. I don't keep up on Canada's economy. I'm sure it's probably the same. It's probably the same in Canada. So a lot of people are turning to cryptocurrencies because they think it's the safer, alternative to the dollar in America, maybe the Canadian dollar. So a lot of people are putting their faith into crypto. But after watching this documentary, I don't know. First of all, I don't even know about cryptocurrency. I know like Bitcoin and the general ones, Ethereum or whatever it's called. But Ethereum. I said, I wouldn't even want to put my money into this stuff, because what happens if these people just like this Cotton gentleman just disappear or die, and he's the only one who can access all this money? That's pretty
sure. I mean, insane. there is more regulation now, and you do. I mean, even then, even though it was a younger phenomenon a few years ago, you definitely heard, if you did any investing, not your keys, not your crypto, don't leave money on the exchange. This is a high risk investment. There is more regulation now. There are companies that have more transparency. There are companies that have insurance, but still, I don't know, you log on to your account and there's nothing in it. What do you do?
I mean,
or there's no account.
So during this time, he was he was being investigated, obviously, by the Ontario Securities Commission, right? And then
after he died,
after he died, so I heard they want to exhume his body to make sure, or people are asking to exhume his body to make sure that this was actually him that died.
Yeah. So the creditors. Happened? Well, no. So the creditors wanted that.
The creditors, okay.
Yeah. Okay. 115,000 people had money on the exchange or thereabouts. So the creditors, people who lost, in some cases, significant amount of monies, as you know, there's a man in the film who lost his life savings, 400,000 or so. And there were others who lost more or less, but still significant amounts. But Jerry went to, part of the reason the story is a little crazy is that he was 30 and he went to India on his honeymoon.
Right.
To open an orphanage and have his honeymoon. And he died of a Crohn's-related heart attack.
Did anybody know he had Crohn's disease? Was this like a known? Oh, okay. So this was known. Okay. This just wasn't like all of a sudden I have Crohn's disease and he just passed away.
No, Pete, they did know that. That is verified. And
okay.
You know, that can, and it can happen. And, but it adds some bizarre turns to the story. And allegedly he was the only one with access to all of those accounts and he was operating his company off his laptop. So, you know, there's lots of things from a business perspective to be wary of.
This kind of echoes a Bernie Madoff-ish kind of thing in America. You obviously know who Bernie Madoff was, right? I mean, he's dead now, and I'm sure people are happy about that. But people actually got their money back. He was running a Ponzi scheme. I mean, not something like this where he actually had physical cash and, you know, but this is something that is so crazy. And I actually heard of another guy who he didn't actually have people's money, but he had a lot of Bitcoin and he died in Costa Rica body surfing on a beach and just disappeared off the earth because he apparently had too much Bitcoin and people were searching for him.
Yeah, there's a really good podcast that I listened to called The Missing Crypto Queen about a woman who created a cryptocurrency. I think it was called OneCoin. I'd never heard of it prior. And she disappeared too. Not allegedly dead, I don't think, but just disappeared. So
interesting.
Yeah, taking people's money. And that was more of a pyramid scheme, if I recall, rather than a Ponzi scheme. But yeah, lots of different ways to take people's money.
Has anybody contacted you like secretly and try to help you out? Like no one's like try to give you some, you know, any like shady people to be like, hey, I know some things about this Quadriga currency, and anybody like, because I know there's another documentary. I actually just read it before we started this interview. They're coming out with one on Netflix about Gerald Cotten, but I don't know if you even knew that was coming out, but
I did know that.
Yeah, I didn't even read about it, but this is the first time I even heard about this guy when I had the opportunity to interview you. So you totally opened my eyes to this whole, there's like a whole world of like Bitcoin crypto scammers. It's like the craziest thing.
Sure.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do your research because cryptocurrency isn't just one thing, right? There's like, I don't know how many coins now, 5,000 coins or tokens out there. So, you know, akin to penny stocks in some ways, but then there's a lot of big ones that are worth a lot of money. So it's, you want to educate yourself. You can't just kind of dive in.
After you doing this documentary, talking to all these people, would you ever invest in any kind of cryptocurrency? Or do you have cryptocurrency right now?
Well, I had to, I mean, when I was tasked with finding the subject, I had to at least put some money somewhere, and Quadriga was the only place to do it. So I was a creditor. So I had a couple grand in there, and that's why I saw the notice right away and was like, oh, this is why I have the money to make the film. I have to make this film. And you know what, if you look at people who are doing investing, a lot of people now say you should have some component of your portfolio in crypto. Like it's not going away. So yeah, I might cautiously invest and watch, but there is a sense of like, put it in and it could all be gone, which I don't feel with other investments.
Well, so you do currently live in Canada right now?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have any kind of strict regulations with cryptocurrency or anything like that?
There's more regulations than there were. And you're supposed to file, like, I'm sure lots of people made lots of money and didn't declare it on their taxes in previous years. But there you do have to declare your income, capital gains, all of that stuff now on every transaction that you do. I mean, I don't know how up to speed they are on tracking that. I don't have that information, but there are more rules and regulations for sure.
Because I know in America, the government is really, really trying hard to get into this crypto, but they're just not. It's just not happening right now. So there's really no regulations here. The guys are just doing, you can go on the Cash App, you can go on PayPal. There's so many ways you can get all these kinds of cryptos. And, apparently that's the way of the future, they say. But I still don't trust it. I like cash money in my hand. And I actually like the Canadian. Is it me? I don't know. You're a Canadian. Does the Canadian dollar really like it smells like maple syrup, or is that just like a mental thing?
Oh, it does. Yeah,
it does. Is it? Am I? Because I've been in Montreal.
Colorful.
I've been in Montreal a bunch of times. I love Montreal. I play hockey. I play hockey up there. Yeah. So that's like it's my favorite place. And like every time the Canadian money is just such a beautiful piece of like, I don't know, it's not paper, but it's just like a beautiful piece of currency. Like the American dollar is just so ugly. You go to Canada and it's just like, wow, why can't we have money like this? It's so pretty. It really is. It really is. Yeah. It smells nice. It feels nice. So
the Australians too. The Australians have pretty money.
I've never seen Australians, but
it's like the Canadians a bit.
Where in Canada do you currently live?
I live in Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver. Wow. That's pretty far from New York. Yeah,
it's a little bit far from New York.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah. I was supposed to come to New York to shoot in April 2020 for this, but
for this,
yeah, never made it.
So that's another question. So during this documentary, was it hard to make during COVID, like, or was it? Yeah. It was really hard, right?
Well, I'd done some shooting prior. Okay. So I started filming in 2019, in the spring of 2019. I did that interview with Nathan, who'd been to India, and started a couple of other interviews sort of while I was waiting for the final financing to come through. And then shot that footage in San Francisco in the February of 2020, and then had stuff scheduled Montreal, Toronto, New York, April 2020, which of course didn't happen.
Right.
And so then we started to put it together because I had a post team lined up. So I said, let's see what we've got. And so we started to put it together. And then I was able to do some small shoots, but I didn't go. So I had someone follow up in LA with Taylor. I had someone shoot in Toronto, that interview in the park with Alexander and Joe. And I had I had a team shoot in India.
Wow.
Yeah.
So bottom line, it wasn't easy. I mean,
it wasn't easy.
Just wasn't easy.
No, and all of the footage from India came in through Dropbox.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was like, all right, here we go.
I mean, there you have, folks. Shooting a documentary film in COVID times is not simple.
No.
Well, the business is booming in New York. They're out again. They're filming all these all the films and the TV shows. They got the trucks out here. So I guess maybe you have to come out here and start filming some things.
That's it. No panic about Omicron down there, it seems.
Not. I mean, it seems like it's just a strain, like a regular strain. I think they made it a little bigger than it was apparently. So it just seems like it's a regular COVID strain.
We'll see. North of the border,
I don't know.
Here, they're calling for restrictions up here. So
yeah. All right. So Dead Man's Switch comes out December 23rd on Discovery Plus, right?
Yep.
Streaming. Where can we find Sheona? What is going on next? What do you got planned next for us? The documentary is great. I love it.
Thank you. I made another completely different short doc also in COVID called It's Doing the Festival Circuit and is out. I think you can watch it. It's on the NFB, which is the Canadian National Film Board, nfb.ca, but it's called Into Light. Completely different story. It's about a family who with a daughter who transitions. She's transgender and comes out at 3-4 years old.
Okay.
So it's a lovely, beautiful little film.
Okay.
And then right now I'm series producing Border Security. So we're going to send some teams down to the States, to the airports again.
Wow.
And just doing some writing. And I mean, my thing is good projects with good people. And I tend to find that things appear. So we'll see what's next. I wrote a novel this year just out of curiosity. And so I'm just sort of playing.
Very busy. Dipping into all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good. It's great. And where can we find you on social media?
Facebook, Sheona McDonald. The website for the film is deadmansfilm.com. And then my company is Dime Store Productions. So dimestore.ca.
Amazing.
That's right.
Well, Sheona, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything. It seems like you're doing just fine.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
You as well. Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. You too. Bye.